I'm sitting here. I'm probably live right now. Are we live? Let's chat.
Okay, yeah, we can.
Jed, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to them.
Okay.
Guys, Jed is here. He's on my bed. That's right. This isn't the Chopin Talk. This is my hotel room in Warsaw, so it's a little bit low budget. I don't know if any of you are old enough to remember public access TV, but that's pretty much what we're doing right now. It's just a camera in some guy's bedroom. But this is the Late Show. What, you guys, are we here? Say hi if we're here. Hey, what's up? You see my my sign? It's I spent a lot of money on this. It's with Sharpie and 8.5 by 11. So that's the Late Show. It's pronounced show, as in Songjin Cho, except it's show. You know, like Chopin. All right, it's a bad pun, but that's just the name of the show. I can't change it at this point. Welcome. You're probably here because you're interested in the Chopin competition. You might have just heard the results. I'm going to bring Jed to the stage here just momentarily so we can react to them together. But we also have a few things planned. So one is that I'll give an intro. I'm doing that now. Then we're going to react to the results. And then we're going to get some fake awards. And then we'll have a guest. How does that sound? You guys in? And as we do this, I'm going to be on the chat, hanging out with you, and I've got a couple of spies who are helping me out. So first of all, I just need to make sure this is even working. Because again, unlike the Chopin Talk, we don't have an entire crew of people professionally producing this. We're just going rogue here, kind of. So let's check it out. Am I live right now? I'm definitely live. I can see myself. So let's start off by saying, I'm going to just test the waters here. Start with the Q&A. I'm going to need to end this poll. End that poll. We're starting a new poll. This poll says, are we mostly happy? Yes. Or sad? No. With the results. All right. So as I let you guys answer that, Jed, come on down.
Oh, right.
Come on down, big boy.
Hello there. How you doing?
All right.
Oh boy.
Wait, let me get the sign. Don't sit on my sign.
Oh, I'm sitting on your sign. Can't do that.
Got to remind them what. Maybe I can put the sign here.
Okay, that's.
Is this what everybody was expecting? You weren't expecting the Chopin Talk studio set, were you?
No, I hope not.
This is
well,
this is the well, it's an undisclosed location, but
yes, but it's an undisclosed location in Warsaw.
That's true. We are in Warsaw. This is a very nice curtain, though. Okay, so let's stop joking around. And we're going to get to the results. Jed, could you actually? Sorry, do you mind grabbing my iPad?
Oh yeah, sure.
Sending Jed to run errands. Okay, so
Here you go.
people are variously lamenting or celebrating their favorites. We're going to just go down the list and quickly we'll do different kinds of reactions, and then we're going to move to some special awards,
Okay.
and then I'll bring the guest up. So,
All right.
oh, Alexeyevich was a yes. Okay,
And
I thought it was.
They're tallest to shortest in alphabetical order.
That's right. Yeah, it's a coincidence that it happened to be that way.
And they're paired in threes.
Who was the tallest competitor? Was it Eric Liu? Because he looked like he was like 7 feet tall.
Or Jack Gowell.
Oh, Jack the Giant. Jack, you're definitely tallest. Did Jack go on? Yes, Jack went on.
Uh-huh.
Team Jack here. Okay, so let's sort of make this look slightly better. Also, I'd like to just do a little quick shameless plug. If you don't know about the Chopin podcast, check it out. I spent the last year making it. Jed's in every episode. We marched through all the Chopin pieces. Garrick is the star of the show, and it's a pretty fun thing. And I wouldn't be here probably if I didn't do that.
Yeah, well, we forgot to mention Shuby the cat, who's in my CD, my recording recommendations.
Here, put this on. It might.
Oh,
Is this mic work? Does it sound like I have a mic?
Hold on a second.
When did you? Yeah, you put that on while I talk to these guys.
Okay. Oh, okay. I put this on. Let's see. Where do I do this?
Just put it on there, and then maybe put that part in your pocket.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Sorry about that. This is
No, I forgot to do it again. No one's helping us here. We're just hanging out. Okay, So
How's this? Is this professional enough?
it looks very professional.
Oh, great.
There you go. And now just don't crush this.
No.
Put it in your pocket or something.
Okay, yeah. I mean, this sweater is like 5 times my size, but
That's okay.
But it's really well. I have a Grateful
Okay.
Dead T-shirt underneath this for those of you who care.
Jed's a Grateful Dead fan.
Yeah.
What was the song? The song that Grateful Dead song I like is about something about gray.
Touch of Gray. That was their big hit.
That's their big hit, but that's the reason I know it.
Right. I Will Survive.
Oh yeah.
And there was a song called I Will Survive, and I think that's kind of all about what this competition is about.
It should be the theme song. They should play it at the beginning of every. Who did I Will Survive? Was it Aretha?
Gloria
Gaynor.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they should walk out to, I think. At the beginning.
First, I was afraid. I was petrified. When I go out on the stage and play a nocturne or an etude or something like that.
That didn't rhyme, Jed. I think let's work on the lyrics. I think Garrick should sing it for the next round when he does the results. Instead of doing one of his speeches, he should just sing this. All right, you're being very patient. Let's get to it.
Well, Barbara Streisand's Minute Waltz.
Yeah.
I have got a minute, just a little minute. I have got a minute. Oh, it's really wonderful.
Okay, guys. Okay. Here we go. Starting from the letter A, Piotr Alexievich. It's a yes.
Yeah, that's a yes.
Not surprised. He was a 2-time winner of the national Polish Chopin competition. Mm-hmm. We heard him in Fort Worth for the Clyburn.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I thought he was he was a pro. He knew what he was doing. Mm-hmm. Jonas Almüller, also not surprised.
I'm not surprised. Yes, and I first heard him when I was judging the Reno San Gallo competition in Monza, Italy last year. And I said in my interview with him a few days ago that when he was playing the Brahms Opus 118, I started crying uncontrollably, and jurors are not supposed to cry. I just tossed my pad away and became a listener.
Did you just cry onto his jury sheet and give him like a wet piece of paper at the end? This is what I should have. Then we have Yan Bao, who is a yes.
Oh my goodness.
I'm Team Yan.
Well, yeah, it's interesting because when we were first listening, I thought this nocturne performance is really slow. It's like she's playing the Chopin Opus 27 number 2 as if it had been composed by Max Richter. Mm-hmm. But then I started getting into it, and then by the end of her set, I was really, really hypnotized and riveted, and because she's the kind of pianist who knows exactly what she wants, and she has the means to get it, and there is no barrier between ideation and execution.
I agree, and she might get a special award later too. I'll try to move with some brevity because there's a few. I mean, there's 84 of these. There's a few that I think I need to spend more time on.
Yeah.
Also, if I can say his name right, it's Michael in America, but I'm assuming it's Michał. The L with the slash, it's like a W, right? Mm-hmm. Michał Basista. Mm-hmm. He did not make it. Some really good qualities to his playing, and he was also one of the ones who did the sort of variants in his nocturne.
Oh yeah,
I thought he had a wonderful sound. Maybe some inconsistencies, but best wishes to him. Kai-Min Chang. I remember his F sharp minor nocturne, and he's passed on. Kevin Chen, no surprise, the winner of Geneva at 17, the winner of Rubinstein at 18, and now he's 20, and I guess he's going to try to win the Chopin at 20. A powerhouse talent. Now, I just want to mention, Jed and I are here, and we were invited technically to host the Chopin Talk show, but of course, that takes responsibilities, and for example, tomorrow I'm doing 7 pre-recorded things. Sometimes we have to host, and we're unable to hear performers. I missed several performers over the last 5 days. I tried to make up as many as I could. There are some that I just didn't hear, and I'll be honest when I haven't heard them. If you liked them, be like, Ben, you got to go listen to them. So I'm not going to offer my opinion on everybody. Obviously, I'll just be honest and say I actually did the math. I heard exactly 50 live, and then I heard another 14 on the YouTube playback. That's 64 out of 84. So
something like that with me. I think I heard 2/3 of them in the hall, but I had to hear some of these on YouTube because I had to run back to my hotel because I've been writing a daily blog for Gramophone, and I really have to listen to all the performances.
Yeah, we can't do both. Either we were just reviewers and we sit there in the hall the whole time, and there are some people like that, or we're talk show hosts, and we're kind of trying to do both. So thanks for your understanding, but this is where you come in. You tell us, who are we missing? Okay, so next is Zhuhong Chen. I'm gonna get my book out, so just in case wait, where's my book? Guys,
It's
there it is.
on the side there, I think.
They gave us we have these program books. They're actually books, They're not like those kind of big things that I'm used to.
Yeah, these are
Zhuhong Chen.
yeah.
He made it through, and yeah, I said that he had a chance to go through, so good for him. Zizi Chen. I like Zizi. If am I saying it right? Zizi Chen was playing the Kawai, and every single decision he made in his waltz in particular was one I was like, that's what I would do. That's what I wish I could do. All these wonderful little nuances. So we'll talk about him. Zach Chong didn't make it playing the Yamaha. He actually made the Yamaha really shine.
And I see Diana Cooper didn't make it.
I'm sad about that.
I'm sad about that too, because I was judging the Chapel Medal Award at the Royal College of Music in London last year, and she really impressed the heck out of me. She came in third. Actually, the pianist who came in first was Magdalene Ho, and we all know that story. But Diane Cooper, she didn't play Chopin, but she played Mozart, and she played an amazing Ravel Alborada del Grazioso. And I heard her play her Chopin repertoire in London a month ago, and everything was all there. So I'm a little disappointed.
Me too. I thought she was a sorceress out there, and I mean, truly magic ghosts all throughout her second ballade and her third etude. There was just, and she really actually knows what a waltz is, which maybe half of the competitors don't.
Well,
I don't know. I just thought that's
quarters.
Yeah, but I just thought that's too. But I also feel bad for Athena Dang, because when she was on, it was really beautiful. She played at the very end of the night. I can't imagine having nerves all day long. I think she came out a little nervous. Also, it must be so hard to start the G major nocturne, Opus 37, number 2, because first of all, it's low key the hardest nocturne because it's just like basically Brahms' second concerto double notes at all times throughout.
Yeah, and to have to play that first without getting used to the stage and the piano, even if you've warmed up, for 24 hours beforehand, it's kind of like starting a recital with the Schumann toccata. It's something you just don't do. But anyway,
I feel bad because there were so many beautiful moments, and it's like I think jury is they're looking for reasons to eliminate people, and if you have a couple of boo-boos, they're like, sorry, we're looking for not that. It's just I hate that about competition.
Yeah, but on the other hand, there's some people who they admitted
who did make boo-boos,
who really where there were rough edges, and I thought and I like the pianist, and I thought, well, maybe they're not going to make it through, but I really like a lot of their qualities.
Did I say la boo-boo?
You did say boo-boo.
Do we still say boo-boo? I guess we don't say boo-boo when we're talking about piano, but if I get a boo-boo on my finger and I need a Band-Aid.
Well, isn't that Yogi Bear's sidekick? Hey, boo-boo.
Who remembers Saturday morning cartoons? Okay, we're moving on here.
I'm showing my age. Sorry.
Yubo Dang, I confess I did not hear Yubo Dang. So, but he did pass.
Yeah. Oh, okay, good.
So you guys tell me, what did you think of Yubo? Matouche Dubiel did not make it. I also, this is a stretch where I didn't get to hear the next three. Yuang Fan. I remember some people talking about Yuang Fan. How do we feel about that? Alberto Ferro, I remember somebody liking
I
Alberto.
am very sorry he didn't make it through, because he's a very elegant and thoughtful pianist, and he has by the way, a marvelous disc of Schubert Liszt arrangements that I highly, highly recommend.
Well, I look forward to hearing them. I'm still gonna try to go back and listen to everybody and sort of formulate my thoughts about him. Jack Gao, powering forward.
Glad he made it,
King Jack, and I'm really happy for him. He does some really fun things in his playing. I always want to hear Jack play.
Well, he's very original, and he's very creative, and he won the Naumburg a couple of years ago, and I was at his Naumburg recital. He played.
Not too shabby.
No. In fact, one of his teachers said that his rendition of Liszt's Feu Follet was the best he ever heard. So good for him.
Okay, so Shu Guang Gong, China didn't make it. I didn't get to hear. I need to make sure that I don't misgender him. I didn't hear him, but looking forward to listening. Eric Guo made it. Not surprised.
I'm very happy about that. And
He is the former winner of the Chopin Historical
right,
Instrument
and
Competition.
he was here in 2021, and I think that he's really developed tenfold. And I was so pleased to hear that. And I talked in the blog. I actually compared his performance of the Etude in Thirds from 1921 from 2021 with this year, and it's just become more supple and lighter and really feathery in a marvelous way. It was terrific.
I'm texting with somebody who runs a big piano Instagram channel who's been at the competition. I'm going to see if he's going to let me. I'm not going to say his real name, but oh wow, Tiankun Ma didn't make it. I finally heard Tiankun Ma on the Bechstein.
That's too bad. That and she was the first.
No, he.
He.
Yeah, Tiankun Ma who played. Both Bechsteins didn't make it. Because the 15-year-old didn't make it either.
Right. That you're right.
Do you remember him?
Yes,
I don't know if you caught him.
Yes, of course.
He was really good.
Yeah, I thought so too.
What do they have against? Do they have something against Bechsteins?
Yeah, the two Bechstein people didn't make it in. And
what is this anti-Bechstein nonsense? No, but truly, he was somebody people were like, you have to hear him. He was certain people's favorites. So I literally just heard him walking back from the Philharmonic because I was like, okay, I need to hear Ma. I need to hear the Bechstein. Honestly, I was floored. I mean, just like the clarity in his Thirds Etude
and the beautiful bass notes.
Beautiful bass notes. Yeah. One of the best, I thought, C minor nocturnes. Great waltz. He actually knows how to waltz.
Yeah.
The ballade was powerful. That's strange.
Okay.
Who's putting at lower scores and why? I don't know. We'll find it. Unlike, for example, Clyburn and other competitions, we do get to see the jury's scores. They are published.
Oh. Okay.
So there is transparency here.
So who else do we have? I mean,
so I'm texting with who knows the pianism Instagram. Anyway, the person behind that, it's a wonderful channel. Check it out. Subscribe to the pianism. I'm texting with him. He's very disappointed about Tiankun Ma not making it.
Okay.
Well, moving on. Yeah, as Garrick said, that's the nature of things. Xuanyi Mao didn't make it? Wait, sorry, I'm skipping ahead, but I really liked her, but maybe they didn't like her rubatos or something. Okay, let's go. Eric, Wei Ting Xie. I didn't hear her. She didn't go on, unfortunately, but I look forward to hearing her. Mm-hmm. Zhao Yuhu, happy for him. I got to interview him, I think. Oh, let me make sure I get this right. I'm sorry, I'm sometimes mix up the. No, I didn't interview Zhao Yuhu. Sorry, I mix up some of the Chinese names sometimes. Let's see. Did I hear Zhao Yuhu? Scribbled all over this book. No, this was the stretch where I wasn't there. Okay, I look forward to listening to it because he made it. Hassan Ignatov didn't make it. I did get to interview Hassan. Really creative, if perhaps too adventurous for a jury waltz. Maybe some things didn't hold together, but very creative pianist. Sihan Jin, not surprised. He's one of our miracle 16-year-olds.
Yes. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Adam Kaldunsky, also not surprised.
Yeah, very, very interesting pianist. And we're going to be talking about him in a little bit.
He might get a special award. David Krakuli, my man, master of the dark arts, moved on. He's everything he plays has a plume of smoke around it. I love it.
Oh yeah, he played I saw him in the Clyburn. Oh, didn't he?
Well, he should have gone on.
Didn't he play that really amazing Scriabin Seventh Sonata?
Yes.
Was he the guy?
If you haven't seen it, go watch David Krakuli's Scriabin 7.
It just oozes sex. I mean, it should be illegal. That's that kind
it's rated R. Actually, everything David plays is rated R.
That was rated XXX.
Yeah. Anthony Klechek. Wait, I thought the white mass is supposed to like purify your soul after the evil spirits in the sixth sonata.
Not his white mass.
So Anthony Klechek, my friend, I'm sorry, didn't move on. He's one of our Miami pianists. Kaito Kobayashi did not hear, did not pass. Matusz Krzyzewski, am I saying it right? Didn't pass. Some people were talking about him.
Mm-hmm.
Shiori Kuwahara, I got to interview her. She made it through. She played the Opus 9 number 3, one of the few that did.
Yeah,
good for her.
Good, I know.
Shushi Kyomasu didn't make it. Both Lee brothers, Hyo and Hyuk, made it through.
Yeah.
So good for them. Hyuk was a finalist last time. I interested to see how they do in the second round. Kwanwook Lee. I heard Kwanwook Lee. Okay, so he made it on. Oh, Luangzi Lee didn't. When he was 17, he should have passed to the second round. I thought he was very
good year.
No, it wasn't a very good year.
Not for him.
No,
Yeah.
but he should be proud. He could come back in 5 years and
Sure.
and clean up. I got to interview him, and he had an awesome like first blood coda. A lot of what he played I thought was really beautiful. And I was like, how did how did it feel? And he's like, oh, I wasn't nervous at all. It felt great.
Good for him. It's funny. I heard everybody, and I took notes. I blogged about it, and I should have brought all my blogs up here to because when I write about something, I remember some things, but a lot of times I'll review a recording or I'll write in the blog, and then I forget what I wrote 5 minutes later.
It's on the internet. We can call it up.
It's on the internet, so you can look at it.
Tianyu Lee. I thought he had a very fine Chopin Fantasy. I'm disappointed he didn't make it, but I'm not surprised the next two didn't make it. Xiaoshuan Li and Sheshiang Li, both of whom were on my panel. I think it was yesterday. All the days are blurring together. Very, very fine pianist, very refined. And as I told Xiaoshuan to his face, he plays with so much affection. It's just so like there's a shyness that really works in Chopin. Like there's plenty of Chopin that sounds really good shy. I don't mean shy in like your contact with the key. I mean the actual expressive effect is this bashful kind of
sound. But I think also the bashfulness that you're talking about also has to do with classicism, where you are not playing Chopin like it's Rachmaninoff, which we often hear.
It's more Mozartian.
Yes, and I think that I would suspect that perhaps Chopin may have played his own music that way, because as Harold C. Schoenberg said in his book, The Great Pianists or the Great Composers, one of these books, he said that Chopin was the romantic who hated romanticism.
As when I first interviewed Garrick, go to YouTube, type in Chopin's Kingdom. I had just met Garrick a month before. I interviewed him for Tone Base. This was August 2019. And one of the first questions I asked him was, so was Chopin more of a classicist or more of a romanticist? And Garrick looks at me and goes, yes. So, okay.
Good answer.
Moving forward, Hao Wei Lin, Taiwanese. Yeah, I thought he was great. Also really, really fine. I thought everything was fine, but very fine fantasy. So many details, and just very organized, expressive playing.
Yeah.
All right. I'm sorry,
okay,
but
now
I need to
must talk about this next one.
Pedro Lopez Salas, if you're watching this, you were my favorite pianist. In a certain way, my favorite pianist in this competition. I just thought everything you did was not just original, but I thought it was in the spirit of Chopin. I mean, yes, you played with much sweep, and your bark roll began faster than 99.9% of recordings and performances, and that might have knocked the jury off their seats, but you did it in one breath. You were able to sweep through phrases and yet not miss any details. In fact, you relished the details, and I felt like I was really we're really moving on this gondola, but it had all the amorousness and detail, and you made the Fazioli sing. You made it sound like you knew exactly what you're doing with it. Your pianissimos were so subtle and clear, and oh my God, your inner voices. I'm gonna cry. I have to make a whole video just pointing out every single brilliant little inner voice. You took risks.
And
I love your playing.
And the Opus 62 number 2 E major nocturne that opened.
He did 62 too.
62 too. What a beautiful and very polyphonically sophisticated performance that was, and you can check it out on YouTube. Just gorgeous and gorgeous. And
I also made a video about the Clyburn of several that I really liked who didn't pass the first round, and he was one of them there too. So I don't know, man. The competitions don't like you, but I love you, and I think a lot of people love you. I talk to people in the hallways who are listening carefully, and their team Salas, Lopez Salas. So congratulations. You should be proud. Don't ever stop doing what you're doing.
I agree.
And you're going to get a special award later.
Oh yeah,
too.
and he plays a Min Hinastera first sonata, by the way.
So yeah, what did you guys? Yeah, we got some Pedro love. Lots of Pedro love in the chat. We got 1,000 people watching this, Jed.
Wow, that's great.
I don't even know 1,000 people.
I know 1001,
Oh,
but
well, you've got a couple of years on me though. I'll try to catch up. We'll
yes,
move forward,
don't
but
rub it in.
I'm actually like I'm like trying to keep my composure here, and I'm going to try to look happy for the rest of this. But actually, I'm very sad about that. Wow, Eric Liu went on. Who would have thought? Maybe it's because he played.
Well,
he should have been playing in Carnegie Hall.
Well, it's not a surprise because he has such an established career. He was in the finals in 2015. He won the leads in 2018. He has 2 CDs on Warner, and I, I think I felt that why is he doing this competition? It's kind of like a millionaire who wants to become a billionaire.
Well, I think that I don't want to speculate, but hold on one second.
But he has his reasons.
Here, stay here, but don't talk too loud. Our special guest is here. I'm going to invite him to the set momentarily.
Hello.
Let me just say this about Eric. I think it takes a lot of guts to come and do what he's doing, despite a lot of questioning and criticism of his decision. The fact is, we live in a tough business. If you want to be a pianist of a Bruce Lee or Song Jin Cho caliber with a Deutsche Grammophon record deal, and I think Eric Liu is somebody who might be interested in that. This is the competition you have to win. And it's also the competition that he started with when he was very young.
Mm-hmm.
And so you might say, well, he's got a career. Why would he do that? Well, I'm glad he did it because I heard him 2 nights ago and it was stunning. And he has every right to do it if he wants to. So that's all I'll say about that. But I'm really looking forward to hearing him again. Okay. It also makes this competition quite interesting, the fact that he's one of the competitors.
And I'm also happy that next on the list, Philip Linov got in.
So Philip, also a Clyburn finalist, and making it to the second round. We're looking forward to hearing him. Tianya Liu, not surprised. One of our 16-year-old going on 60s. She might get a special award later. Hey, over there on the bed, you're cool hearing all this, right? Yeah. All right, it's not weird. We got a competitor here. We're going to announce him in just a moment. We'll bring him here. It's past his bedtime, but he's going to join us for a few minutes.
Okay.
But let's just get through the list first. Okay. Tianku Ma, I've already expressed disappointment there. I'm quite confused. I wasn't in the hall, unfortunately. It was right after one of my sets that I had to host live. And he played the Bechstein, and just by all accounts in the hall, and from what I heard when I listened back, it was quite stunning. So I'm confused about that one. Wait, yeah, so Xuanyi Mao didn't make it. Okay, yes, her rubatos are unusual and personal, like just the way she began the fourth ballade. It's like she pulled you into it in a way you'd never heard before. I thought she was such a finished artist. I think she must have offended one too many jury with her timings, but she had such smart inner voicings that were like structural. She was like playing Schenker, and you would just hear this line moving up in the fourth ballade that you never heard before. Interesting individual pianist. So I'm actually quite confused by that one. Okay, who else here? We have, where was I? Okay, Ruben Michelli, not surprised at all. I thought he was fantastic.
I'm very happy he got in.
Natalia Milstein made it. Good for her. She did a beautiful cello etude. Yumeka Nakagawa, I didn't hear her. Yulia Nakashima, our 15-year-old.
Oh my goodness. She did not make it. Well, look, she's 15. She has a whole world ahead of her. But I thought she had really, really fabulous talent. And I was so impressed with everything she was doing. And we're going to talk about that possibly a little bit later.
And so what we'll do is I'm going to make it until we get to this name because he's sitting in the room. Then I'm going to invite him here. You guys will switch out, and I'll interview him for a bit until he gets tired. And then we'll switch back and finish.
Because we have some awards.
Yes, we'll get to them. But I'm going to make you wait and not him. He's the man of the hour.
Okay.
So where were we? Viet Trung Nguyen did not make it. I didn't hear him, unfortunately. Yuya Nishimoto also, that was a stretch I didn't hear. Vincent Ong made it. I heard him today. Good for him. He had a lot of interesting details and textures. Arisa Onada, I didn't hear. She didn't make it. Piotr Pawlak did make it. Didn't hear him. Yehuda Prokopovich. How's my Polish? He did make it. Hao Rao made it. Heard him tonight. And Anthony Ratinov, come to the stage.
Yeah, come on down. Here, mics. We can switch the mic here. Here, can you help me with this?
Sorry. Yeah, just boom. And Jed, if you want to just like lie on the bed and meditate for a bit.
Yeah. We can listen to my CD, Meditate with the Masters, right?
Jed, I'm not comfortable reaching in your pocket. If you
Oh,
go
here.
ahead and just do that for me.
Is that a microphone in your pocket, or are you glad
All
to
right,
see me?
Jed, go over there.
Nice to meet you. Finally. Hi there.
All right. Welcome to the Late Show.
I'm thrilled to be here. Emphasis on late.
Very late. We have a sign. It's a pretty good sign.
Wow.
Welcome. If you're just joining us, you're watching the Late Show, Pan. We're here with Anthony Ratinov. Anthony, you've got some fans in the chat. Hi, Anthony. Hi, Anthony. Well done, Anthony. Love you guys. Beautiful, Anthony. Okay.
Thank
Now,
you guys.
obviously, my first question is, oh gosh, there's probably like serious people watching this.
Oh, come on.
I shouldn't, right?
No.
Okay.
No.
Good.
But the answer is yes.
Well,
And
guess
we'll
what?
leave it
Me
at that.
too.
Oh, okay,
Just
great.
total coincidence.
Uh-huh,
All right.
yeah.
We'll leave it at that. If you know what we're talking about, you know what
If
we're
you
talking
know,
about.
you know.
How did it feel out there? You were one of the last people to play. You had to wait 5 days. What was that like?
I did. It felt really good. I think it was one of the most locked in performances I've ever given. It felt strange playing the last day of a first round when I arrived pretty much 10 days ago. So if this were Miami, it would be over. The competition would be over. And so I was just kind of marinating here in the juices of Warsaw and Chopin everywhere. And so, you know, in a way I was desensitized to the environment, but also in a way I was kind of building up expectations for myself. But as soon as I walked on stage, it just felt something clicked. And I've never felt more comfortable actually at any stage or piano ever.
You seemed comfortable.
There was just something in the air. I feel like Chopin was just guiding me, and I really enjoyed.
That's beautiful. And I ran into you afterward, and you were being followed around by a camera crew.
I was, yes.
Am I not supposed to talk about that?
No, I mean, a lot of people are being followed by camera
Well,
crews
I don't
at
know
all
what I should
points,
say or not, but it was so public. But we had an embrace that was captured.
Yes.
For posterity.
Yes.
Okay, so it is funny that in Miami, basically you had the U.S. National Chopin Competition. You had these 3 weeks with all the same rules and repertoire compressed into like 7 days.
Yeah.
So literally, like you would play one night and then have to play the next morning.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Luckily, that's not the case now, because.
When do you play next?
I don't know.
Oh, they're going to draw another name or
no?
Number?
The next letter is Z.
Oh, so then
but there's a lot of Z's.
Oh,
or I don't know. Maybe there's not. I don't think I'm the first day. Which is all that matters because I'm R.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're not either.
We'll get a schedule.
Yeah, we'll see. Okay, so I just want to say about your playing that because I've been listening to most of the competition, and you know, one thing I was just noticing because we kept hearing for example, I never want to hear the octave etude again. No offense. I hope you don't either. I mean, well, no, you haven't had to hear 80 people play
No, I haven't, but I've had to hear myself playing it every day.
That's true, but I like how you play it. Actually, we have the numbers on how many people chose it.
Can I guess?
Yeah.
35.
I think it was. I have it right here. Here is the rep breakdown. Etude selections. 25.
Oh.
Octave etudes, but there were 5 etudes total.
Oh, I forget.
25 octave etudes. It felt like 84 octave etudes.
Yeah.
24 winter winds, 19 thirds, 10 ones, and only 6 opus 10 number 2s. Now we know which one people are scared of most.
Yeah, absolutely.
But okay, so one thing I was writing, because I'm hearing so many octave etudes, I was just like, okay, I've heard this A section so many times. There's a very clear climax point before the B section. Ba 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 bum. Ba 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 ba. And it's like it's kind of just one long phrase until that point. Now you got to do things and so many people were like climaxing early or stretching the climax out or just like getting to that point and then not quite hitting it, and then you were just like had a plan from the beginning. That's where you're going, that's where I'm going, that's where I'm going. Ba 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 bum. I don't know. I just thought, do you practice in a way that is just like a long structural idea or arc in mind?
You know, I've gotten this comment before, you know, usually in a good sense, especially like with my Ballade 3 and with the, you know, some pieces that there's kind of a structure to it. I don't know how it happens. I don't really like plan out, oh, this is the spot that I want. I just know that when I feel tension building, I'm not gonna just let it go to waste, and I'm gonna do something with it. how I do something with it depends on the performance, and it depends on, you know, what I've been working on with that piece. But for me, that spot that you're talking about, that's kind of the example of Chopin versus Liszt, meaning Liszt would have done like a ba-da-da-bum,
Yeah.
but Chopin did a ba-da-da-dum. It's a little more humble, won't you say?
I think so, and I
And it
just
sets up the middle section.
I appreciate that you play in a very I don't mean formal, like dressing formally or something like that. I mean you with a formally aware way, and that's something that, especially when you're sitting through the Chopin composition, you start noticing. Even if you're not, even if you're somebody who listens maybe first and foremost for color or nuance or whatever, when you just hear enough people play, you become a structural listener because you get to know the music so well. You're like, wait, I don't know, where are they going with this phrase? You know?
I think also it all kind of comes together in that piece, because my primary concern was the technicality and the sound production of it. And I found that when I achieved a sound and kind of, you know, touch that I was happy with, the phrasing kind of came together. And that's something that Bob pretty much preaches, that that musicality kind of falls into place after technicality is dealt with. Do we have a sign for Bob?
Well, no, I have. I'm going to say we're currently on the guest portion, and if you're just joining us, this is the late show pan. We're going to have some questions for Anthony, and then after the questions for Anthony, we're going to let him go, hang out, and then we'll bring Jed back and do the fake award. So this is now the Q&A session. The questions are pouring in. Some of these are rapid fire. Let's see if I can do this now. Here we go. What are you? Where did you practice while in Warsaw?
I practiced through Steinway a lot because I selected the Steinway. So Steinway has locations all across the city, one of which is a luxury apartment concierge area where you get to practice in front of really fancy looking rich people as they walk their dogs all day. So that was one of the places, but it has an extraordinary Steinway D. So it was worth it.
Nice.
And I practiced at the Chopin School.
Here's another question. Other favorite composers besides Chopin? From Milk Enjoyer. I'm not going to ask anything else about that.
Other favorite composers. I mean, I don't know. I'm so like tunnel visioned on this right now. My favorite composer before this whole Chopin business was Brahms, and it's still, you know, I'm excited to come back to Brahms after this. So I would say Brahms, Beethoven, Mozart, and Prokofiev.
Oh, nice. This is why you're structural.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
Styles in mind.
Blame Johannes.
Oh, what?
I thought it was the schedule.
Oh, interesting. Well, you don't have to answer it if you don't want to. But who's your favorite, or who's your favorite among recent Chopin competition winners, or who's one that comes to mind that you really like?
I really like Yuliana Avdeeva's recordings of certain pieces that I've played because I think I really, really appreciate. I love her mazurkas. I love Sungjun Cho's Ravel.
Oh, well, which one? Because he played all of it.
I mean, all of it is fantastic. But that's something I'm more familiar with.
I like this question, so I'm going to move lightning round if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
James Co asks, Anthony, is there any piece we should be looking forward from you next round? What's your next round?
That is a great question. All of my pieces are much better than they were in Miami. That's kind of the general, that's a theme of me in Poland.
So what are you playing in the second round?
I'm doing the 2 impromptus, the F-sharp Polonaise.
Which 2 impromptus?
Impromptu 1 and Impromptu 2, and then Preludes 13 through 18 and Scherzo 3. I would say I am most excited to play Scherzo 3 because it's become a banger of mine in the past 10 months since Miami, and it's kind of like the cherry on top of that program because I feel like the whole second round just builds tension, and then the Scherzo just fireworks.
Quick question for me. People were saying Garrick was very upset. What's your take? No, I just think he was giving a speech and he was expressing that, you know, he liked some people who didn't make it, and that's the nature of competitions, and I wouldn't read into it too much. He was also probably really tired.
Yeah.
Let's see. What are your thoughts? Someone said Kate Lou's the GOAT. Anthony, do you play any Scriabin?
I do. I play a lot of Scriabin.
What
Not
Scriabin
currently. Sonata
Nocturnally?
5, Preludes.
Oh,
not currently, but
also
nocturnally. I grew up playing Scriabin, and I've done some all Chopin recitals with little Scriabin prelude tasting portions in between pieces.
Scrabin's very tasty. If you're just joining us, thanks. This is the Late Show. Pan. We're currently on.
My name's Ben.
And I'm Anthony, and I just passed the second round of the competition. This is currently the guest segment, and then soon I'll bring Jed Distler back, who's currently sitting on my bed. And Jed, say hi.
Hi.
He'll come back soon. Anthony, is there any? Okay, so but also if you make it to the third round, we might hear a little tarantula.
The tarantella got a lot better. I didn't touch it for about 6 months, and then I practiced it a bit in August, and I played it for someone who I've been preparing a lot with, and it just, yeah. So we'll see. Hopefully,
Have you ever heard the Glazunov orchestra version of it? It works.
No, I haven't.
Check it out. Well, you know, maybe not before.
Maybe
you
I
don't
will.
want it to influence you if you're playing, but did you look up what the judges like or don't like? I don't know what that means.
Did I? I mean, that's a valid
Did you
question.
look up what the judges like or don't like? How
Absolutely
do you know?
not.
How do you look that up, though?
You can
Google
look it up.
what does Wojciech Świtała like?
I feel strongly about this. I think if you're going to a competition to please the jury members specifically, you're going to eradicate your own personality and you're going to sound worse. And I think when it comes to Chopin, what a lot of people are listening for is that you make a decision. And it almost doesn't matter if you disagree with the decision, but if you understand the language and you make a decision about something else, then, you know, at least you're listening.
Anthony, what's your practice strategy for the competition? Specifically, how much do you touch your second round rep during the first round?
I had a pretty good balance because I would get 5 hours a day total. I would get 3 hours and 2 hours, and the 3 hour slot I would use on my first round, and the 2 hours would be kind of rotating other stuff. So second round, sometimes third round, and I always warm up with some of the preludes. Like on any instrument, no matter what. Like today, when I had the hour before my round, I was warming up with the F sharp prelude, just because it's, you know, it gets better incrementally over years.
I love that piece. I'm glad you're playing.
Yeah.
Is that what you're starting with? The prelude set?
No, but it's
okay.
It's after the impromptu.
Got it.
Yeah, the second one.
So thank you, Daniel, for the donation. There were some donations above the scroll that I didn't get to see. So I thank you for all those who've donated. I really appreciate it. It's very fun to do this, and I couldn't do it without your support.
Oh my gosh, Sarah, am I getting enough sleep? I am. Hi, Sarah.
Feel free to look there.
I'm sleeping like 9 to 10 hours a day, which I think is really important. In fact, I got a message after my round saying I looked well rested, which is very flattering because
Anthony, what is the one piece you would go back in time and let Chopin hear?
Ballade 3.
I love how quick you were with that answer.
Interesting.
It's my or actually Ballade 3 or Polonaise Fantasy, because I think he would love to hear Polonaise Fantasy on a Steinway D.
I think so. I think that's the most biographical Chopin piece, but the third ballade might be one of the most Chopin personality.
It's
pieces.
perfect. I'm obsessed with it.
I feel like it's more represents like.
And I'm still obsessed with it. And I played it,
him.
and I've been practicing it, and I still want to play more of it. Like I'm itching to do it again. If you had a piano, I would start practicing right now.
I dare you to bust it out in the second or third round.
See, don't say this because the intrusive thoughts, like who knows what
I've had so many intrusive thoughts sitting in there. I mean, I have thoughts like this when you're sitting in the Warsaw, you know, the Philharmonic Hall for long enough, and you're seeing all these competitors, and it's literally just the nicest competition setting I've ever sat in, or any concert setting. I have thoughts like, it's physically possible for me to just walk up on stage right now and just like pull the hair of the person playing.
There's many things, yeah.
I didn't control that thought. It just entered my head. And then I started imagining myself doing it. I was like, I could do that. I won't do that, but I could do that. Can't control our thoughts sometimes, you know. Uh-oh. Staring into the sun, as we say. How's the chat looking to you? What piece from other composers? Yeah, we heard that one.
No,
favorite thing about
other composers.
I see. Yeah,
that's a good question.
Something after him, I hope.
Yeah, something after him. What about like a little bit after him? What about like a Brahms piano concerto?
Oh, that's cool. Or just any Brahms.
Yeah, just see how he'd react.
Liszt Nuage Gris, and he'd be like, "What the hell was Franz smoking at the end of his life?"
Yeah.
I don't understand. I'm not going to make him do. He's not your circus pony. I'm not going to just make him do little tricks for you. Let's see. Well, is the coughing getting worse? Let's talk about the coughing.
Oh my gosh.
It's my favorite topic, clearly.
The coughing was crazy.
In between, this because they wait.
It was crazy. Like after my nocturne,
yes,
it was deafening loud. I was about to go attack into the etude and I had to hold in laughter because it was like
I'm
boom,
glad
boom,
that
boom.
I'm glad that well, I'm not glad you noticed, but I'm glad somebody else besides me thinks it's absolutely nuts. Actually, a lot of the audience thinks it's crazy too, because I hear not only the coughing, but the laughing at the people coughing. But here's what it is, and I've said it now. If you watch any of my Patreon recaps, or if you watched the Chopin Talk earlier today, I think I said it because I'm obsessed with this topic. It's amazing how attentive the listeners are. They refuse to cough, and I've seen people, God, it's a cough, and then the nocturne is they just like erupt. That's why it's so loud.
Yeah.
In America,
it was loud.
People just shamelessly cough the whole time they're playing.
I mean, the audience was good.
What are you seeing there?
I don't want to leave, actually.
Yeah.
Somebody said blink twice if you want to sleep, and I did blink twice, but I'm having a really good time and I want to stay.
They like to pretend that I'm holding you hostage or any of my guests. The only one I'm holding hostage is Jed. He's tied up on my bed right now. That's a different topic.
Definitely tied up.
I don't want to keep Jed waiting too much longer, but Anthony, why don't we stick around and answer a couple more questions? And you're welcome to stick around. I just want to get to our special awards.
Yeah, of course.
And we could hang out afterward if you're not too tired, but totally up to you. It's your night.
Yeah. What's my morning routine? Did you listen to anyone else? I don't listen to anybody else at competitions. Not even my best friend, or like my closest friends here.
Oh, so you have good friends in the competition?
Yes, one of my best friends is in the competition, and we've been hanging out all the time, and it's been really, really nice. And he also advanced. So,
what piece did you dread preparing for the competition?
The Nocturne, Opus 62, number 1.
Why?
Today was a miraculous performance of it, and I could think of no better send-off. I think it was the best I've ever played that piece, and I will never play it that well again.
Wow. I know you were fretting over it before when I saw you in New York.
No, that piece is just really, really difficult, but I think you just sometimes need to let Chopin spirit take over you, and then it makes sense.
They asked how distracting was the coughing to you, Anthony. He literally just said he was trying to go attack
pieces.
Between pieces.
It was funny.
But I'm glad it was funny to you and not like how much caffeine
do you have?
The
whole thing is funny.
How much caffeine?
This whole thing is ridiculous.
Oh, the whole competition is absurd. Yeah.
How much caffeine? This is actually quite a controversial topic because I had gone 10 days without caffeine completely. In Miami, I didn't have any caffeine at the US Chopin competition. And here I went the entire time without caffeine. However, 2 days ago, I started to feel so tired that I started drinking tea, like black tea. And then today I woke up, I felt really bad, and I had a few sips of coffee, and it made me feel better and actually excited to play.
Nice.
So
coffee to the rescue.
So I'm going to start drinking coffee again quite regularly.
Someone asked, for the record, how does one get to the stream you mentioned, Chopin Chat? No, Chopin Talk is the official Chopin Institute. Yes, Chopin Institute intermission talk show on the Chopin Institute.
It's
live
filtered,
stream.
Ben.
I'm much more professional there. I sit up straight and I have makeup on. Actually, I guess I still have makeup. Did you know I have makeup on right now? They put makeup on me.
Oh, they always do.
And then they come and they touch it up. And anyway, so this is made up Ben right here.
Caked up.
So I should start crying and just let all my mascara. I'm not wearing mascara. Okay. Should I request mascara for our interview tomorrow?
I don't have makeup on right now.
Oh yeah, Jed. Where's the Jed? You're our makeup guy. Come on over and put it on, Anthony. No,
please.
Where's the candelabra?
So I'd love to do some fake awards, but I also would love to keep hanging out with you. Can I ask that we switch?
I think I'll probably go to sleep.
Give me a hug, brother.
Bye.
Good luck.
I'll see you tomorrow for our official Chopin podcast.
That's right. There's a Chopin Talk, but it's pre-recorded, and you're gonna see it later in the competition. So.
Is Ben caked up? Yes. All right. Good night, everybody.
Say bye to Anthony.
Bye.
Oh yeah. Swap that. Give that back to Mr. Distler.
Nice to finally meet you.
If you're just joining me,
Here you go.
Thank you very much.
This is the late show. Bye, Anthony. Thank you so much for coming by. It was really fun. Everyone appreciated it. You're watching the late show, and we have been talking about results. We're going to return to the rest of the results and our reaction.
Can you help? I can't do this.
We had stopped on letter R because Mr. Anthony R. Ratinov walked in, and we just interviewed him. And now we're returning, and we'll pick up with R, and we'll move through the rest of the list, giving our immediate live reaction. If you want to back up in the live stream to check our other reaction, you can, or just stay with us so you can be part of the chat.
Guests.
You're not guests. You're actually results.
My results.
Your results, and then we're about to be fake awards. So after our guests, we're going to do fake awards.
Okay.
They're fake because they're not official, but in our hearts, they're real. So Anthony made it. Obviously, he just joined us. Susanna Zebuk. I don't know how to pronounce it. Shebuk? Probably Shebuk.
Yeah.
Susanna Shebuk, Polish, did not make it. Jun Shimada of Japan didn't make it.
That disappointed me a little bit because I heard him. In fact, I presented him in a concert earlier in the year, and he just played superbly. Such an intelligent and
come over here a little bit.
He's such an intelligent and sensitive musician, and very, very fine pianist.
So I look, sad to see him. It was nice to hear him in the hall. Miyu Shindo made it of Japan. Manas Shoji did not make it. Gabriel Strada did. We heard him just right at the end of the night.
Right.
Interesting, very intentional, deliberate artist with lots of interesting rhetorical ideas in Chopin. Eva Strejova, who was the Strejova, Czech. I'm sorry,
she was the last one who played.
She's the final one, so that she was the very last one who had to truly wait 5 days until the very end of the evening. And you have the announcer saying, and now this is not only the last performance of the evening, but the last performance of the whole first round, and then she had to walk on and play. So I give her a lot of credit for that. Now we're back to the very first day, Friday. Cie Tao did not make it. I'm actually disappointed in that. I thought he had a lot of creative ideas. He played the Fazioli. Now, he was somebody who was not afraid of dry sounds. If I were to give him a fake award, it would be least afraid, least intimidated by dry sounds. There were many pianists who didn't meet a note they didn't want to pedal. Cie was not one of them. He had a lot of really fresh ideas in his playing, and I'm frankly surprised he didn't go on. Chun Lam-u did not make it from Hong Kong. Tomoharu Ushida did. I have yet to hear him, but I will. Ryan Wong didn't make it, unfortunately.
Yeah, he's a very, very talented pianist. I think there are a few little miscalculations, but I've heard him before, and he's just has something really special. But he, like I said about some of the others, he has a whole universe ahead of him.
Let's see. Okay, so Sitong Wong made it. Good for her. I really enjoyed her playing. Our 3 Polish boys didn't make it. I got to interview all 3 of them at once. Jan Widlarz, Andrzej Wierczynski, and his brother Krzysztof Wierczynski. Best wishes to all 3 of you. You were the first ones I heard actually in that hall, and I really enjoyed it. And now I'm just very sorry to announce that our friend Victoria Wong, who played her heart out and really with so much emotional expression, really made the Yamaha, I thought, sound its best.
She really
did not
made
advance.
It sing. She worked so hard. She played so beautifully, and she's really been incredibly diligent and committed to her work. And I just always wish her well.
So wishing her the best and looking forward to seeing her again. I hope she's doing okay. Maichi Wu didn't make it from China. Yifan Wu did make it. Miki Yamagata made it. And she was the one who wore the traditional Japanese dress.
Yeah, and what I loved about her playing is that it just comes from the heart, and there's no artifice about her playing. It's very organic and very genuine, and there's a real sense of how all the ideas come out of what came before, and there's no calculation. It's just really honest and
very sincere playing.
Very sincere playing indeed.
And Ryota Yamazaki didn't make it, and sad to hear that also he was a favorite of many at Clyburn who didn't go on. Fancy Yang didn't move on. I think he was quite young, if I'm not mistaken. He's another 16-year-old who did quite well. Congratulations on your first time in the Chopin competition. I'm sure you'll be back. William Yang made it, who was the first prize winner in Miami. Anthony was the runner-up there, the silver medalist. They both auto-advanced. And, he might get a special award from me. And I've talked to him about it. But, he's someone who has a very unique style. Yuan Fan Yang, and then the next three as well, Yichen Yu, and Andre Zenin did not make it. Jackie Zhang did make it. No surprise there.
I was very pleased about that. I heard him in London about a month ago, and he really did an about face with this repertoire, because when I heard him in London, he played very well, but I don't think all of the ideas were as digested and thought through as they seem to have been in his set. But everything just came wonderfully together for him, and I'm so happy about that.
And that's it. The last three, Yang Zhang, Han Yuan Zhu, and Jingting Zhu didn't make it. I have to say, Jingting Zhu not making it is confusing to me. I thought he was extremely musical and had a really beautiful sound, and if I'm not mistaken, a lovely bar crawl, I believe, right? I don't want to get that wrong. What did you play? You were last here, Mr. Jingting. I remember writing down that he was...
Did he play?
Yeah, he played the bar crawl. I really enjoyed his playing, so that's too bad. But there's always going to be these disappointments and these questions. Why does this happen? So we just made it through the results segment and had our just quick reactions. And now we want to honor several competitors with fake awards. Now, this isn't the same as the Christian Zimmermann Sonata Prize or the Mazurka Prize, but it is the Jed and Ben, now I think traditional, because we did this actually in the previous
but I think it's going to be maybe kinder and gentler, perhaps.
This one's I think this is a very sweet fake
I think it's
series.
because we're here live and we're interacting with the people.
My point is, it might not be the Christian Zimmermann Award, but any pianist, if you get a fake award from us, you're absolutely welcome to put it in your bio, put it on your CV, send it to your management.
Well, let's not be so presumptuous, but
but no, of course. Now I've scribbled my fake awards all over this. Jed's got a few. Let me just kick it off with the genres. Now, let me begin by saying there were, if you're new here, here's what happened. Hundreds of people from around the world who are really good at the piano applied to the International Chopin Competition, and then 160 something of them came in the spring to basically audition to come here, and about half of them made it here. About, I don't know, 15 or 20 or so won previous competitions.
Exactly, but basically it was narrowed down to a total of 84,
which is already
contestants.
Very selective in something like quick math. I don't know, 15% of those who even applied in the first place, and all those are really fine pianists to begin with. So it's very selective to get here. Really, I'd say it's the biggest competition. Historically, it has selected for some of the greatest pianists in history. So here we are at that very competition in Warsaw.
But we should talk about the repertoire, because that's
where I'm going.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
And so upon getting here, they're only playing Chopin, but not any old Chopin. They have to follow certain repertoire requirements. And in the first round this year, I'd say it was among the more narrowly defined first rounds. That, at least in my memory, and mainly it's because there is a required waltz. Last time there were more required waltzes you could choose from, I think, in the second round, because there were 2 etudes in the first round, if I'm not mistaken.
You could play two virtuoso.
This time they kind of made the waltz into one of the etudes, because they narrowed it to the 3 hard grand waltzes, which have kind of glittery passage work. And although I love all 3 pieces dearly, hearing 30 Opus 34 number 1s, which is kind of my favorite piece since I was a boy, was, a little bit hard on the soul. But in any case, I don't recommend such a narrow, not that any competition official is watching, but I hope we can expand the waltz options next time. There were lots of nocturnes to choose from, although it seemed like everybody and their brother was choosing Opus 62 number 1 this year. Heard so many of those that it actually started to lose meaning, which is tragic, because it's one of the deepest, most meaningful.
Whereas there were very few G major Opus 37,
which is my
number 2,
which is my dear,
and there were and Opus 9 number 3. Very few, only two. That was really surprising. Played one of them,
and you could also choose 3 of the slow etudes. Now, no one chose Opus 10 number 6, but we will hear it on the second round, because somebody's playing all 12 Opus 10. That would be Kevin Chen. Okay, so then you had to choose either one of the 4 ballades, or in place of a ballade, you could do a barcarolle or the fantasy. The fantasy was longer, so whenever somebody had the fantasy in the program, it would actually sometimes double their ballade slot, because actually the second and third ballades are only about 7 minutes,
Right.
and the fantasy can take up to 13, 14 in certain hands. So if I'm not mistaken, then you had only 5 etudes to choose from this time, because they didn't have 2 etude categories. Usually they had categories of, like, this type of etude that has a certain kind of technique, and this type of etude has a different kind of technique. This time it was just like, here are like what are considered sort of the 5 of the hardest etudes. Arguably the octave is not the hardest. I wouldn't rank it among the other 4, but whatever, that's debatable. In any case, that's partly why we heard so many octave etudes. It's a little bit more approachable. If you can play octaves, you can play this piece.
Right. Yeah, but also I think that the octave etude has that contrasting middle section, and so you have to show 2 different sides of your technical and artistic personality. And and the Winter Wind is kind of epic in that way. Opus 10 number 1 and 2 are very specific technical,
and they were chosen the least.
They were chosen the least, yeah.
And we looked at that earlier with Anthony, but only only 10 Opus 10 number 1s were chosen, only 6 Opus 10 number 2s. So with that, we're going to give a few special awards based on repertoire. I'll start with waltzes, and I want to first honor 2 people who didn't go on, who I thought had outstanding waltzes. So for me, I want to go ahead and give my Opus 42 award to Diana Cooper. I was absolutely taken by this performance. I'm going to go back and listen to it later tonight. Just really gorgeous. Just her style, her timing. Also, go listen to it. Her transitions, like every time she transitioned to a new character, I thought it was really just thrilling to watch and to experience. My Opus 34 number 1 award goes to Tsitsi Chen. Tsitsi went on, right? He better have. Yeah, he went on. But that's partly selfish. I just thought he played it the way I would like to play it. But I want to give a bonus special award to Pedro Lopez Salas, who did some of the most delicious Opus 34 number 1 stylings and sweet nothings and spontaneous, variants. And he just took risks and did all kinds of fresh stuff that I really adored. So, Pedro, you get the tie for the Opus 34 number 1 award, and Micheli, Maestro Micheli from Italy. He played Opus 18, right? That's what I wrote down. Yeah, he gets my Opus 18 award. I thought he played with such distinction. So any waltz awards coming from you, Jed, or any waltz that stood out in your mind?
Well, I'm gonna get to that.
Okay, you'll get to that.
Because my awards are a little more. I have adjectives to describe
I've
them.
got some of those,
but I really like these because what I'm actually doing is I'm writing down your choices, because I have to, because I have
You're stealing my ideas?
Of course I'm stealing your ideas. No, well, in addition to my radio show Between the Keys on WWFM, I also have a podcast myself. It's an audio podcast. It's called The Piano Maven with Jed Distler, where I recommend piano recordings. And I decided that at some point in Warsaw that I would do a podcast where I can recommend selected performances, and you're giving me a lot of food for thought, and of course I will credit you.
Thank you, but also if you can please program Mr. Lopez Salas. I think he deserves to be heard.
He'll be
Excellent.
there. Yeah.
Okay, I've just got a couple of Nocturne awards. I refuse to award an Opus 62 number 1 award because I heard so many, they started blurring together. I heard so many good ones too. And I'm sorry to say that I just didn't have time to sort through them and pick, but I will give an Opus 62 number 2 award also to Pedro Lopez Salas. But I actually wanted to move to Opus 48 because both 1 and 2, Adam Kaudunsky played a very intriguing Opus 48 number 1. Everything from just the extremely soft sonorities of his left hand and the Fazioli.
Well, we're going to get to him in my awards, and I'm going to elaborate on that.
But I'll just say he gets the 48-1 award from me. There were other very good ones, and actually, let me throw in a bonus one because he didn't make it, and that's Tiankun Ma, a rapturous Opus 48 number 1. So he gets the Co 48-1 award. My 48-2 award is going to go to Zitong Sitong Wang, am I getting it? Sitong Wang played a really sad 48 number 2 F sharp minor nocturne. For me, it was just like walking through this 12 stages of grief. Her sound was really, really tragic. The ballade, I will not be giving a ballade 2 or 3 award because we heard too many of them. I do want to honor a pianist who didn't go on, Luangzi, the 17-year-old. I thought he had a really beautiful first ballade, and I really was thrilled by his coda. And Yan Yan Bao, who we'll be hearing more from, also played ravishing and original and very lyrical operatic first ballade as well. So she can get the co-award there.
Mm-hmm.
I am also going to give a couple of fourth ballade awards. I'm going to give them to the two Erics, Eric Liu and Eric Guo. They had very different approaches to the fourth ballade, but both with such refinement and distinction and intelligence. And because she didn't go on, I want to give a third co-prize. I'm just handing out awards here. I got infinite awards. Xuanyi Mao did not go on. She played with so much originality in her fourth ballade. Again, I'm sure, maybe some of you listened to the whole competition. I'm sure many of you missed some things. I had to miss competitors. I hope you're writing some of these down and truly go and see what you think of Xuanyi Mao playing the fourth ballade. Just her inner voices, her rubato are different, but stay with them because I think she makes them her own and actually integrates them in ways that are really beautiful. So just want to honor those. Now I don't really have a Barcarolle or a fantasy award, but I will say that yet again, well, screw it, I'm doing it. Pedro Lopez Solids gets my Barcarolle award too. And for fantasy, I really liked Alexievich and Howe Lin. And I should mention Kevin Chen, who is a powerhouse, and sitting in front of his fantasy was like sitting in front of a sublime cosmic event. It was just universe shattering. He was one of the, and this is not a pejorative, he was one of the loudest competitors, but so well crafted in proportion. He really shook me in my chair. Such a really just transcendent, such transcendent pianism. Not surprised he's going on. And then for my Etude awards, I want to give an octave award to. I thought Micheli actually had a great octave etude, so I'm going to give Ruben Micheli. Am I saying his name right? The octave Micheli, and for me, it's maybe look. Everyone has different tastes in their thirds etudes. My thirds etude award goes to Tianyao Liu, who is a 16-year-old going on 60. I will speak more about her shortly, but I just thought her thirds were the way she got to the top and screamed right at the top, but then like it did not disturb her texture. And I don't know, she also has maybe it's just that I'm a sucker for inner voices, but she has inner voices in that too. My Winter Wind award goes to Yan Yan Bao, who played the whole thing like it was a left-hand piece. Listen to it, truly wonderful. The right hand was just atmosphere. She just sang the left hand the whole time gorgeously. My 10-2 award, I'm going to give it to Jackie Zhang, but I also think Eric Guo can be a co-winner of that. Both played them beautifully. And I want to honor Ziye Tao, who didn't go on, and yet he gets the Vitali Margulis special award for his Opus 10 number 2, because he did Margulis's crazy voicings. His last time playing up, he started plucking out the A minor triad theme, and it sounded very terrifyingly delicious. And now I'll hand it over to Jed. He's going to do some of his own special adjectival superlative awards.
Yeah, and
then
we'll
I'll
be
finish with
bringing
mine.
some of these pianists back. Well, the most hypnotic nocturne goes to Yan Yan Bao for her Opus 27 number 2. We were talking about that before. Her slow motion and long lines and specificity of detail. I think that definitely this is a well-deserved award for most hypnotic nocturne. Best ornament or best variant reading, textual reading award. I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. Maria Shaj. We just heard her tonight.
Shoji? Wait.
Sorry,
I think
about
you just
that.
scribbled her name down.
I just
Shoji?
I totally scribbled it.
Shoji, right?
Hold on a second.
Yeah, Shoji.
Oh,
Manasoji.
Manasoji.
Oh, these are your ornaments, right?
Yeah. I think she also in Opus 27 number 2 in the second statement of the theme, very interesting and well projected phrasing of the ornaments, but probably we should give Kevin Chen an honorable mention for his ornaments.
For me, he is the winner of the
Opus 18.
We're both, these awards are haphazard and independent, and
Yeah.
we've got my wonderful assistant Karina Tsang is helping project these on the screen, so she'll make it clear that Ben also has the ornament award. And the one that threw me out of the seat is when Kevin Chen did the Ekier edition variant in the Opus 18. The laughing, when that comes around the second time, Kevin goes, yeah. I just threw us out of our chairs. I was sitting next to Jed, and actually, I hadn't looked at the Ekier edition of that. I didn't realize that variant was there. Later, actually, Liang.
Did I get it? Didn't he do it? Yeah.
Luangzi did it too. So credit to him as well. But Kevin's just threw me for a loop. Anyway, back to you.
Okay, so the Etude Express Award, which also known as the Fastest Etude Award.
This is an important award.
This is an important award. Remember, in 2021, we gave that award to Aristo Sham for Opus 10, number 8, the F major. And then he went on to fame and fortune because of our award.
Of course.
It has nothing to do with the Clyburn. It was, we made him a star. No, seriously, actually, Jackie Zhang and the A minor Opus 10, number 2, which you talked about, super, super fast, but all the right-hand 16th notes, not one of them fell under the table, right? And then the left-hand stuff, all that cool little detail. I mean, I was listening to him and I thought, Wilhelm Backhaus in 1927, eat your heart out. Or, you know, and of course, Kevin Chen gets an honorable mention for the smoothest and zippiest double thirds in Opus 25, number 6.
So you say that again in a minute. Someone says they thought Armelini's Opus 10-4 would have gotten the Etude Express Award in 2021. Do you remember?
Maybe that was an honor. Was that an honorable mention?
I think we gave her something. I thought we gave her.
I think she got the least interesting repertoire choice award.
No, but she got a good award from us. I thought it was a 10 number 4 award, but maybe.
Oh yeah,
we need to revisit our 2021 awards.
I think so. Maybe she got the Sviatoslav Richter Speed Demon Award or something like that. But
so you were saying Kevin Chen's very zippy Opus the third.
Even though he dropped a beat in the introduction, I'm glad.
No, he didn't.
He didn't.
I went back.
You went back.
He was just playing so fast. Jed and I both were like, did he just play 3.5 beats instead of 4?
Okay, well,
we thought he went, but he did it. He was just going fast, and I think somehow our perception was off. It was like an aural illusion.
No, I'm glad you checked that. So I
did check it.
So I probably have to correct that in my blog.
I would go back and correct it, but it's interesting that we both had the same like I know.
Remember we both
did a double take,
and we did a double take. But no, good for him. Okay. Pearliest Legato Award. Now, this is different than the Creamiest Legato Award because that was Avery
Galliano.
Yeah, she
had
and that
creamy legato.
and that was for Opus 27, number 2.
Yeah, I remember now.
Which seems to get more awards than any other nocturne. It seems.
It is an award-winning nocturne.
But I decided to do the pearliest legato because when I'm talking about pearls, it means that you have very distinct pitches that are placed in a very smooth kind of line, in like diamonds in a necklace. And my pearliest, excuse me, speaking of coughing, it's just my stupid asthma.
Anytime you need a cough, I'll just jump in with one of my awards.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
But but the pearliest legato award goes to our dear Jonas Almiller for his Opus 25, number 7, Etude in C sharp minor, which is a nocturne-like etude. So it was included with the nocturne choices. And the way that he parsed the conversational duet lines was really like a game of 3-dimensional chess. And especially when it got into that B major section in the middle, that's when the pearls were really shining. So congratulations, Jonas, for that. And in a similar vein, I have the Bel Canto Award because Chopin, of course, was influenced by bel canto. Now I thought of calling this the Maria Callas or Joan Sutherland or Renata Tebaldi bel canto award, but it's just the plain old bel canto award. And that goes to Alberto Ferro, who didn't make it to the next stage, but his beautiful singing lines in everything that he touched, and how he resolved ornaments and how he landed into cadences. It was just always so eloquent, and no matter at what speed. And that really goes for his Opus 42 waltz, where you just heard lines, you just didn't hear athletics. And that also goes for his Ballade number 47. So this is a general bel canto award. And I would give Ruben Micheli an honorable
I
mention.
would say he would be my co-winner of that too.
I
He
think
played
so.
that 27 too, like he was singing in Italian.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
It was great.
I would
love
say that whereas Alberto Ferro is pianistically oriented in the bel canto, I think Ruben is a little bit more orchestral, and which doesn't surprise me because he is a conductor and he is a composer as well. I mean, he's a wonderful all-around musician, and I think these pianists actually complemented one another. Now, the most waltzable waltz award.
Oh, wonderful.
Now,
Well, last time we had the least waltzable.
we had the least. Well,
time
I
it's the
want to
most
be
waltz.
positive.
Okay.
Is he
Well,
positive?
wait, hold on.
Think happy
I didn't
thoughts.
think it was actually necessarily a negative to say that someone's waltz was least waltzable. These are not meant to be waltzed to, Jed. Isn't that right?
You know, but I still think that as a genre, the waltzes elicited generally the weakest performances, because I think so many of the candidates felt compelled to do something all the time, and there was so much monkeying around with phrases. I mean, sometimes it was done very artistically, sometimes it was done in the most horrible of taste, you know, as if they had studied these waltzes by candelabra at the Liberace Museum, you know.
When I interviewed the director of the competition on the first Chopin Talk, I was trying to ask him, why are they such narrow category, or why are they such a narrow selection for the waltzes? But he actually kind of, I don't think he quite understood my question, but he started talking about how important it was, he thought, to have the waltz in the first round. And I think this was the reason why. And we heard some whispers that, you know, even among jury, they thought that the waltzes were overall the worst performed genre of the four. And I'd say I agree with that, and Jed, you agree with that too, right?
Well, I agree with that. It's not that they didn't play the notes. It's just that it's a very stylized.
The style's much more implicit, and if you're not getting in on the
implied
implied style, you can't play it.
And I think it just kind of reinforces today's tendency to micromanage and to overdo details just to be different for the sake of being different. And you know, I wanted to lock half of these candidates up and just like force them to listen to Denis Lepati's classic waltzes or Arthur Rubinstein, you know, which is just so direct and uncluttered. Yet it's very expressive too, but you know, Rubinstein uses just eye drops of rubato, and when the rubato is there, it's much more meaningful, instead of hearing, you know, 500 gazillion tempos, you know, in the first section of Opus 18. You know, it just drives me bonkers. So, but we have to award this. The most waltzable of the waltz performances, or I thought, was the one by Natalia Milstein in her Opus 42. Everything was there. It was very transparent. It was very direct. You know, there was no futzing around, no monkeying around, no diddling or dawdling, whatever. Okay, so now I have a couple of minimum and maximum awards.
Okay.
And the minimum rubato award goes to William Yang.
That was going to be mine. Well,
it was going to be yours?
This one's awarded a co-award. I named it the. I don't give. Wait. How did I word it? Oh yeah, it was me. You can take your rubato and stuff it in a sack award.
Oh,
William Yang.
I like that better.
Because that's what he's letting you know. You can take your little rubato preferences and stuff them in a sack. He just walks on there and he plays a line that begins on the first note and ends on the 256th note, and he plays it in one extended arc breath without a single stop and start. Now, is that to everyone's taste? Of course not. But when you're hearing almost every performance before it and after that, no, I should say, when you're hearing so many performances have this sort of stop and start quality to them, it's actually kind of refreshing to hear a long line every once in a while.
It's like getting your ears cleaned out, you know. I mean, it's like if you've been listening to Furtwängler for years and then all of a sudden you hear Boulez. Yeah, I mean, it's not a great analogy. I'm simplifying, but and then at the opposite is the Pedal to the Metal Award, and that goes to Hao Rao.
And can you tell us what that means, Jed?
Pedal to the Metal. It means very liberal pedaling. Tons of pedaling.
And he also had one of the biggest sounds in the hall. And I will say right now, someone's asking best sound projection award. I'm going to interpret that not in terms of, because projection can mean that you project the balance of your voices in a very clear way to the back of the hall, just in terms of sheer amplitude and sonority of sound. I would give a tie between Hao Rao and Kevin Chen for just the biggest, most sort of powerful sound that shook the hall. And both very, very different pianists. Kevin Chen has much more discretion in how he chooses what voices to show. His voicings are very subtle. Hao Rao was much more interested in a sort of a sort of sea of pedal, a kind of waterbed of Chopin, I might call it. So very different pianists, but both very loud pianists in the hall. It just from what I heard in the hall, those two, I don't know how it came across to you guys watching at home. Very, very big sound projection from both of them.
Okay. Now, this next award is rather esoteric, and not everyone will understand why I'm giving this award or what it means. But this is my Abby Whiteside Memorial Award. Now, for those of you who don't know who Abby Whiteside was, she was an American piano teacher who lived from 1886 until 1956. And she wrote a very interesting and quite valuable book called Mastering the Chopin Etudes. And she was a teacher who had a rather non-finger-centric approach to teaching piano, something that was really more holistic, that really involved the torso as as the driver's seat, the torso and the upper arm. In other words, as my late friend David Del Tredici said, who studied with a wonderful Whiteside people, he used to say, the fingers are the tip of the crack of the whip. I like that. And this award goes to Adam Koldunsky, who did make it into the next round. And as I was watching him, I really felt that he was very much into this kind of technique, whether he studied the Whiteside book or with somebody who knew this method. His technique and his body language seemed to be the most well put together out of almost all of the candidates. For instance, when he played the Winter Wind Etude, it was the least notey performance, meaning that it was driven with the left hand, similar to the one we were talking about before, where the right hand details were just kind of taking care of themselves. And now, not every single detail was like super refined and super polished or micromanaged the way that we were often hearing, yet I felt that there was this breadth and continuity. And I would say that to watch him is the same as to hear him. So he does get that Abby Whiteside Award. And Abby Whiteside taught composers like Morton Gould and Vivian Fine, and she taught Sophia Rossoff, who was a very influential teacher, and she taught my piano mentor, Robert Helps, who influenced a whole generation of pianists who play this way. Okay, so
How many awards left?
We just have one award left.
Ooh. And then I've got some awards that they suggested, categories that the viewers suggested for us here that I've gathered up.
Okay, well, this next award, my final award, is the Wunderkind Award. And we have 3 finalists for that. We have Tianyu Liu from China, who we said it was 16 going on 60. I thought she did her best work in the Barcarolle, which just had beautiful sound, and it was so heartfelt. And now, maybe not all of her instincts are landing, as far as projecting ideas, but it just really thrilled me. And then, of course, Jackie Zhang is 17,
Well,
and we talked
let
about
me
him.
let me
Sure,
take the handoff
please.
from you here because
Okay.
I developed this award, the 16 going on 60 award, because there were 2 really outstanding 16-year-olds in this competition. Jed just mentioned one. If you haven't heard Tianyao Liu play the piano, go listen, run, stop what you're doing right now. Actually, don't stop, keep watching. Right after this, go listen to her performance, because you're sitting there looking at a child sitting on stage at the International Chopin Competition in Warsaw. But if you close your eyes, you're hearing this old soul. And but you need one of those like filters that makes young people look older. And if we could project that onto this YouTube video of her playing, it would look more authentic,
Yeah.
because she played with just years of wisdom, but with the sort of dexterity of, well, I guess somebody her age these days. But I truly intelligent playing. I mean, I guess she's got incredible physical gifts, but also she's studying here in Poland actually with Katarina Popova Zidron, and I just think she's getting both style and she's got all the facility, and she could go far in the competition. I wouldn't be surprised. But I want to give a co 16 going on 60 award to Zihan Jin, who I got the chance to interview on the Chopin Talk. What a mature young man. And talking to him, I was like, am I talking to a 16-year-old, or is this like somebody running for office, 20 years older? Just so dignified in his appearance and in his playing too. Just there's another 62 number 1 that was really, really beautiful. So I recommend that. But I think we have an even younger award.
However,
Yeah.
And if for those of you who watch David Hurwitz's videos, however, if you have to have just one, however, the big finalist is, and my winner of the Wunderkind Award goes to the 15-year-old Yulia Nakashima. And
who played the Bechstein, by the way.
Played the
both Bechsteins were kicked out. I don't know what they have against this. Is there, what, do they not want to move the 5th piano on stage? What's going on?
I don't
both
know.
Bechstein pianists were quite good.
And just what
And
made
Ma
her,
was
and
extremely
just
good.
what made her special. Well, if you watch her on the YouTube rebroadcast, you'll see why. She was the only one who played Opus 10 number 1. I mean, she played it superbly. Many people did, but she was the only one who really brought out those left-hand whole notes as a cantus firmus, supporting the right-hand arpeggios. And so it was just a very fulfilling performance. She played the Opus 55 number 2 nocturne, which is a nocturne we did not talk about. And this was a nocturne made famous by Ignaz Friedman, of course, who's recording from the late 1930s is the gold standard. And I think that Julia's performance of this, well, I'm not going to say it was as great as Ignaz Friedman, but it had this fantastic contrapuntal dimension to it, and breathing room, and this flexibility that just impressed the hell out of me. And she played a great Opus 42 waltz. Her 4th ballade was really exciting. I mean, it didn't have the structure and the deliberation of detail that you got in Eric Liu's performance, which was really extraordinary and unbelievably thought out. Yet I was much more moved by her performance, because I thought it was really heartfelt and exciting, and it just moved from A to B to C, and it culminated in
D.
In D and F minor.
By the time she got to E, I mean, we were in tears.
I know. Well, and by the time she got to the coda, I thought, I would love to see her get ahead. But, like all of these kids, who, may not have progressed into the next one, she has such a future. ahead.
What's
of
crazy
her.
about her being 15 too is she literally has 3 more Chopin competitions left if she wants to do them. So I'm sure she has a bright future.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a few special awards as well,
Okay,
and
can't
happy
wait to
for you to
hear
jump
them.
in. If you want to add co-winners to any of these,
Okay,
you're welcome
well,
to.
I'm happy to hear them.
I have a whole group of inner voice
Oh,
awards, and they're different kinds of inner voices in different ways, but I couldn't just choose one winner because they were all very different. But I already gave the Vitaly Margulis Award for the Opus 10 number 2 inner voices, what I call the Tim Burton horror house inner voices by CHO, who did not go on despite having some
yeah.
very fresh ideas. I also want to give Xuanyi Mao, who I've mentioned before, in her inner voices, I'll give her an inner voice award as well, because go listen to her fourth ballade and you'll hear these structural inner voice lines that are just stepping down slowly over the hypermeter on the way to a cadence that you've never heard before in this piece. And they give this background sort of sensation of, oh, I feel like inevitably I know where this line is going, because she's really drawing it out. And it wasn't overdone. It wasn't like, here's a voice you haven't heard. It was all very tasteful and organic. I can't mention him enough, Pedro Lopez Salas, who is my tragic hero in going out there with enough guts to play like he did, with that much sweep and verve and creativity and risk taking. And his inner voices in the Opus 34 number 1, especially the middle section, are absolutely to die for. I didn't even know some of these exist, and literally I just, like, what I do for fun when I'm not editing videos is sit there looking for new inner voices in that
Well,
particular piece.
I think he even brought it out in the coda. You had a lot of Opus 34 number 1 performances where the pianist would just actually play very straight tempo-wise, yet they would vary the voices where the bass notes would be emphasized, or you'd have little differing accents in the right hand.
I absolutely, I should remind everyone that I didn't get to hear everyone play. I mentioned this at the beginning of the stream. I heard about 75-80% of them. So if I'm missing anybody, if you listened to somebody, or if you listened to the whole competition and you noticed any of these and you felt like somebody should have deserved one of these awards, please shout it out. I want to also mention Tsitsi Chen, who also had some really wonderful Opus 34 number 1 inner voices. Yan Yan Bao also gets an inner voice award from me for, I think, her Opus 42 waltz and some other places in her playing, like her ballade. And then I mentioned her, but Chen Yao Liu gets an inner voice award for her haunting inner voices that I also didn't know existed, or I didn't know they could be brought out in a musical way, I should say, in her thirds etude. We talked about our ornament variant awards. I gave my variant ornament to Kevin Chin. You had some of your own. Another one that I have here is, oh no, we actually went over all of these, so skip that one.
Yeah.
My Pianissimo award also goes to Pedro Lopez Salas. He's getting many awards tonight, as he deserves. Listen to the beginning of his Opus 62 number 2, because he chose the Fazioli, I think, because he could feel how softly you could play on that instrument.
I think Eric Liu should just get the Pianissimo award as a matter of course.
He is the co-winner of the Pianissimo award as well.
Okay.
Notice they both chose the Fazioli. That is the piano that you can play softest on and still have it be really crystal and distinct.
Well, also, and not just crystal and distinct, but even the softest playing has definition no matter where you're listening to it in the hall. And I think that's also a hallmark of a really great pianist, because it made me think of, when I used to hear people like Horowitz or Claudio Arrau or even Rudolf Serkin, who you don't think of as a great colorist, when they played super softly, in Carnegie Hall, and I'm sitting up in the balcony, there was real projection. The pianissimos didn't sound like water.
Poo Poo Pants 55 wants to know, I'm surprised Krikuli isn't getting your Pianissimo award after how much you talk about it. I do talk about it. At the Clyburn, it was on full display, especially in his Brahms and some of his Scriabin. Actually, while he had plenty of pianissimos, his Chopin, I think the repertoire choices in particular didn't require a lot of really expressive pianissimos. He played Opus 10 number 1, for God's sakes, But also the Opus 10, the Opus 48 number 1 Nocturne, the C minor. There's parts you could play pianissimo, but actually, and he played it very delicately. But I actually think somebody like Kuldunsky played it even more pianissimo, for example. So, well, I should mention David Moore, and somebody suggested that we give him the Scarface Lookalike Award. Yeah, I mean, absolutely, the award for guy who looks like he might, pull a Gatling gun out of his trench coat award goes to David Kukuli. But that's just us, having fun. The dude deserves an award because here's my award for him. The plume of smoke around every phrase award, and I mean that in the best sense. There's this aura around David's sound and everything he phrases and plays. He had a wonderful fantasy, but I wasn't surprised that he really captured me and also the jury's attention, and that he's moving
but
on.
I think you also have to think that that a lot of these awards, I think, are going to arguably be more meaningful in the repertoire to come, where the pieces that we're hearing will really lend themselves to, pianissimos and to, more extensive inner voices. Certainly in the sonatas and in the preludes, where the potential for these kinds of things really, really exists, and it's really potent. So I think we'll definitely return to these awards when we, recap for stage 2.
Rovan,
sure.
I will give Shiori Kuwahara an award. Well, first of all, I'm so glad she played the Opus 9 number 3. She gets the Opus 9 number 3 award, although there were only 2 who played it. But she had a really lovely singing line, and just really. Well, the other thing about her fourth ballade that I liked is not everyone liked it, but she would move through passages where others like to sort of be laborious and take their time, which for me weighs down the fourth ballade. Eric Guo also did this really well. All his inner this sort of second theme area material was so sweeping and dazzling, and it didn't get this kind of that part that's like da 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 da. Some people like to really play that like it's so heavy.
Well, I think.
I love when you.
Well, one thing I think really factors into this with him is his experience with period instruments, because I really found that his playing on a modern grand had an extra level of transparency and clarity that his 2021 performances did not consistently have. So I think this is a case where, the period instrument movement can actually benefit your playing on modern instruments.
Niraj asks, who wins the Tian Kun Ma Award for Biggest Snub? I think he's implying that Tian Kun Ma gets it. And I would say the co-winner of the Tian Kun Ma Award for Biggest Snub is Pedro Lopez Salas, who I keep mentioning. So we might rename that award the Tian Kun Ma Pedro Lopez Salas Award for Biggest Snub.
Yeah,
oh, you have a big snub too.
Yulia Natashima. I don't know. I think maybe I'm just being emotional because I was so surprised and delighted by what she was doing. But at the same time, she's 15 and she has, many more years.
Any thoughts for an Alfred Cortot Award?
You mean for wrong notes, or for added octaves?
No, for poetry.
For poetry. Well, there's tons of poetry. Although maybe the poet, you know what, Alfred Cortot, really.
I do have a Best Program Award. Be patient. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. No, I think with Alfred Cortot, what we could do with Alfred Cortot, it isn't just the poetry. Cortot, there are 2 things that I've been thinking about this a lot, because Cortot is one of my great heroes, is that he has this knack, at least on the recordings we have, of always hitting upon just the right tempo that's never too fast or too slow. If you listen to his recordings, the tempos always seem very reasonable. And even in the late performances, where, he's past his best, he never really compromises with the tempos. And the other thing that he has, and this is something that I remember reading that Samuel Lippmann wrote, and I completely agreed with him, and because I didn't think about it, is that his way of projecting melodies, this ecstatic quality where he's not afraid to really project a melody all the way and to follow it through to its final destination. And sometimes, with these candidates, sometimes a phrase would start kind of tentatively where the first note really didn't match the others, and then a phrase would end where the last few notes would be kind of ghosted. It's like if I'm talking to somebody and I turn around, hello, how are you? I'm fine.
There are people who talk that way. I mean, it's true. I think we both took note whenever we heard a pianist with good punctuation marks, for sure. And very necessary in the waltzes. You have to have good punctuation in the waltzes. You got to show us that we're changing characters on a dime here, but you need some kind of full stop and then, sort of slick little transition or way of turning, which is what I thought Diana Cooper did very well. By the way. But alas, she didn't go on.
Okay.
I'll say a few things because there were a couple of requests for awards. So let me get to them here. We mentioned that. The Chopin Lookalike Award, I think, absolutely goes to Jan, my boy, Jan, let me get his last name right, Vidlarsh, who I interviewed, absolutely gets the Young Chopin Lookalike Award. Yes, I agree with you, Bodan. The doctor recommended most ergonomic chair award goes to Eric Liu.
Because he played with a chair with a back.
Really cool looking chair, actually, but I'm sure he needs it just for I don't know, just health or posture reasons or something. I'm not sure. Calming Effect Award, someone once. I think we kind of gave that to Yan Yan Bao. Go listen to her D flat nocturne, and well, it's let's just say if you want to go to a spa right now and lie down and just experience, a real hypnosis and serenity, and it's in such a placid environment. That's the one. But what's cool about it is it wasn't that the whole time. By the third page of pretty much calm, tranquil atmosphere for 2 minutes, she finally lets her sound blossom in the middle of that nocturne. It is really beautiful.
Yeah, and it does, and she's not compromising the structure of it. But then there, the nocturne, some people think of the nocturnes as being very pleasant mood pieces that, are great if you're having a massage treatment, where somebody like Claudio or Rao thought that these were the most tumultuous and expressive pieces. But then there are some pianists, I'm not going to name their names, like their initials are Yundi Lee, whose recordings of the nocturnes are in a totally hot tub.
Throwing some shade at a former Chopin winner there, Jed. So Best Program Award. I actually have a programming award, and it goes to my man Jack Gao, who put a program together that was performed nearly a taka, if not fully a taka, meaning one straight into the next, which was leaving all of our poor audience members who wanted to cough waiting an extra 20 minutes before they could cough. And so here's what Jack played. Very clever. So he starts with the E major etudes, that ends in E major, and the next piece is a G sharp minor, the third etude, which begins on a B and a D sharp, which are actually part of the dominant chord that resolves to E major. So you kind of have this turn back because you don't know what harmony it is yet. You just have a B and a D sharp, and it's actually rotating with D sharp E, D sharp E. So to end on an E major and then start the third etude already has a nine. You can definitely go a taka into that.
Yeah. Well, I think there are a lot of pianists who really took key relationships.
Hold on, Jed. No, I have to cut you off there because Jack made it not just, you're right, but he explicitly played a taka one to the next to the point where he didn't even lift the pedal practically. He was going into it like it was the next phrase. For example, into that etude, straight into, let's see, he did straight into the ballade. And then the ballade just perfectly, when he ended the third ballade, he went straight into the Opus 34 number 1 waltz. So Jack gets my award. You're right. There were some other really good ones. I can't remember which pianist. There was one who chose to, or there were multiple ones who would end the, they ended the C sharp minor knocked. So somebody, for example, ended the cello etude. Maybe it was Jonas, and they end on a C sharp, and then they begin the octave etude down a fifth, so it feels like it's ends and then it takes you right to a fifth below.
Right.
Almost
So
like it
so
transitions
so it's
to
almost
the-
like the same piece.
It was like
but
a 2-5-1, C sharp, F sharp, and then it resolves to B.
I think he did it. And wait, I have to look at the book for a second. There, here I'll keep this. But the pianist who started with Opus 18.
Well, you're
and we
looking that
heard
up. I'll
him
just mention that
Go
Jack
ahead.
probably wins the biggest hands award. So Tomas, biggest hands award. Although I also put my hand up to David Krukuli's earlier today, and his is a 12th. 12th is pretty big. I think Rachmaninoff's was something like that, or a 13th. I think Kleiber could reach a 14th, which is practically 2 octaves. But I also put my hand up to,
Who was it?
No, did this pianist
Sheshang has big hands.
Piotr Polak, did he
I didn't
start?
get to hear him.
I think he
What order did he go in?
Gosh, but I have to look at my, because I blogged about this, and it's so late and I'm kind of forgetting
we're gonna
everything.
have to,
We're probably
guys.
gonna have
We're
to,
pretty fried. I mean,
yeah,
so I have a couple
but,
more awards.
but some, well, you should get to it.
Yeah.
But somebody started with Opus 18, and I thought that was a very cool idea, because it's a real invitation to the dance, so to speak, to start your set. Bum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, da-da-dum, 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 ba-da-dum. That's kind of cool.
I mean, I'm just looking at some other suggestions. Most Courage Award. I mean, I think in a way Eric Liu gets most courage, but for reasons that might seem a little backwards. Does it take courage to go into a competition again? Yeah, with this much scrutiny, and imagine the pressure he's under to live up to things, and so far he has. But also, I mean, I keep mentioning it, but I just thought the way Pedro Lopez Salas played took a lot of guts and a lot of courage. So,
who else?
I'm going to sort of put them together. I had a couple more here. My Sibling Rivalry Award.
Oh, yeah.
It's a tie between both younger brothers, both the Wierczynski younger brother. I think his name is
Christoph, right? Wierczynski.
Mm-hmm.
Christoph Wierczynski, but also Hyo Lee. These are 2 younger brothers of older brothers who've advanced quite far in this competition. Hyuk Lee was a finalist, and the elder Wierczynski, Andre, actually made the semifinals last time. Their younger brothers came in and not only held their own, but arguably may have even surpassed their older brothers. So good for you. I don't know how much you're influenced by your elder siblings. I can tell they both have really good relationships as brothers, but I thought that was really wonderful to see them back to back and have the young ones actually really making a good showing.
It's kind of like an Anton and Nicholas Rubinstein situation.
That should have been the name of the award.
The Anton and right.
Yes. The Best Dress Award. We've got a tie between Mr. Let me make sure. Yeah, Gabriel Strata for his white silk.
Was he the only one who wore a white
It's
shirt?
possible. So Strata.
I just want to make sure I'm getting names right. Ms.
Miki Yamagata for her traditional Japanese.
Yeah. Also,
attire.
Adam Kaldunsky had that black, that really interesting black shirt. I'm not going to say that it looked like a dress, but
it was very loose hanging, and it looked very distinctive. And
very shiny.
He has long hair.
He has a ponytail.
He didn't look like anybody else.
It kind of reminded me of the young Peter Serkin.
I don't remember what.
Peter Serkin used to have a ponytail back in the day.
And then the third best dressed goes to Howey.
What was Mr. Howey's? I want to make sure I get the last name correct. Gosh, there were so many pianists. How did we listen to most of these?
I have no idea.
Why can't I find him? Wasn't it Lin or Lee? Howey Lin.
I want to give him props. He wore tails.
You
don't often see tails in a piano competition.
Well, was it like that 70 years ago? Where
I don't even know if it was like that then. But he rocked him. He looked great in tails, and it actually gave his recital a kind of distinction as well. I mean, I felt like I was at a piano recital. Look, what you wear does project a certain unconscious kind of.
That's true.
And he lived up to the tails too. He played very well. I really enjoyed his playing. So those are our best dressed, and. Yeah, I gave that award. Gave the Sweet 16. You can take your rubato and stuff it in a sack award. Well, let's go ahead and give this award. Played the Bechstein Award and made it sound damn good. goes to a tie between your favorite,
yes, Yulia
Yulia
Nakashima.
Nakashima, and the great Tiankun Ma, who were still a bit perplexed by having not gone on.
Mhm.
But he really made this Bechstein sound like way more people should have chosen it. With that, Jed, I wanted to just end with an idea here.
Okay.
Maybe we can place some bets. I'm not a betting
Bets?
man myself, but maybe you viewers at home could. Here's a question for you. What letter, last name letter, is going to win this competition? I'm going to propose one, but you think about it for a second, then I'll say mine, and you can say yours. Okay?
Well, I think because there's so many L's.
L.
that
L
would
was
be
mine. See, I wrote L right there.
You know, because you have Lu, Li, Ling.
Well,
Lu, Li, Li,
it's all the L's. There was a whole
and
L
they're
day where everybody was Lee for 7 in a row, and then Lin's, and then Lou came later.
Right, and because there's so many of them, we're kind of hedging the bet.
I
Because
think the L is going to win. So
yeah.
I think most likely letter to win is L.
Well,
and also
well,
we have
well,
Tian Yao Liu.
and
If there's going to be a teenage
yeah,
winner,
Bruce
it could be her.
Liu.
Bruce Liu won.
And
There's Kate
and
Liu.
right, and Kate Liu, yeah, and you know Maurizio Lolini.
Yes, and Garrick Lolson.
Garrick Lolson and Christian Limmerman.
Yeah, and I really like, I don't know if you've heard him, but Dong Tai Lon is also very good. And Mr. Levin Lenner.
Oh,
quite good.
Levin Lenner.
Oh, well, there's Yundi Lee, who's your favorite. And,
well, I think he only uses Yundi. So whenever I
Yundi,
review his discs, I always call him the artist formerly known as Yundi Lee.
Well, for Jed Distler, I'm Len Body. No, but thank you so much for joining us. This has been a lot of fun.
And thank you for having me. And we will be back for a recap of stage 2. And also, I'm going to be giving daily recaps for the rest of the competition, which will be posted the day after the rounds, because that way I can sleep and I can catch up on my blog, and I'll kind of wrap up what happened the day before and what to look forward to on the next day. And Ben has a lot of goodies happening, and
absolutely. Stay tuned. You're going to see us on the regular TV a lot. I'm recording no fewer than 6 or maybe 7 Chopin Talks tomorrow.
And can I promote what I'm doing on Between the Keys?
Please do, yeah.
Well, I have some, if you, for those of you who listen to Between the Keys.
Sorry.
Oh,
no, it's your turn. Your turn.
Oh, no. You promote this.
I just, I didn't mean to steal your thunder, but if you haven't watched or listened to the Chopin podcast, is a big podcast I just made, and it's all about Chopin, and you're watching the Chopin competition. But importantly, I put a team together to build the Opus Index, the Chopin Podcast Opus Index. So you can actually go to this index.chopinpodcast.com, search for any Chopin piece just about that you're following in the competition, you want to learn more about, and you'll be taken to none other than Garrick Olson breaking down that piece. It immediately takes you to the timestamped video of him doing it, plus at other moments, including Jed's recommendations for recordings of that piece and other guests talking about the piece. Sorry to jump in, but that's a really big one I forgot to mention. I should probably promote my stuff too.
No, this is a fantastic podcast, and I always look forward to new episodes, and I always learn from it. But my ASCAP Deems Taylor Virgil Thompson award-winning radio show Between the Keys has been on for 10 years on wwfm.org, the classical network. And you can tune into it Friday afternoons at 3 p.m. New York time, and with a rebroadcast on Saturday evening at 6 p.m. And we have piano music every week. Every show is completely different. However, to tie in with the Chopin competition, from September 26th and going through November 7th, we have 7 episodes in a kind of mini series where I'm featuring all of the 51 so-called standard mazurkas, and I'm presenting 2 piano performances for each mazurka, 2 recorded performances with different pianists and without repeating a pianist. So that means you have 51 mazurkas with 102 performances and at least 102 pianists. And the pianists include some of the people on the jury.
Oh, very interesting. Well,
And
I think you gave the Mazurka Cycle Award to Garrick Olson, actually, in the Chopin
indeed,
podcast.
he's part of this too. And if you can't hear the shows in person, they're webcasts that are posted after the shows air, so you can check out the podcast 24/7 whenever you want to listen. And then there is my twice weekly podcast called The Piano Maven with Jed Distler, which is all about recordings. And I have a bunch of shows where I'm recommending Chopin Mazurka cycles, and we're gonna have we have a lot of Chopin related shows this month. So stay tuned for that.
Thank you so much for joining us, Jed.
Thank
Check out
you.
all of Jed's work. He's a busy man. I've been keeping busy myself, and we're
Yes,
not
I
hanging
agree.
out here in Warsaw. We're working our tails
We
off
are.
from
It's-
dawn till dusk.
Yeah.
Sometimes from dusk till dawn. I am sitting over there editing stuff. So
Yeah.
with that, I'm going to drink a bottle of water and take a shower and go to bed, because I'm also extremely sweaty right now. I've had this light in my face. I brought like production gear all the way to Warsaw. So what
Yeah,
do you think of my setup, Jed?
it is amazing. Are you still wearing your makeup?
My makeup's still on. I might start wearing makeup all the time. You guys want to see my room? There it is. Okay, not anymore.
Okay, good night.
Wait, one
Oh,
last thing.
one
Maybe we'll
last thing.
share a couple of I want to just share a couple of goodies.
Okay.
We'll show you some things that I've gotten here. Chopin
Oh,
socks.
I got some today too. Yeah,
This is what I really needed. Chopin fan.
a Chopin fan.
Well, we're all Chopin fans, but like for someone who's sweating as much as me right
Yeah.
now.
Well, I've got a little list of Chopin items to
Oh
get.
boy. Didn't see that one coming. How do you
Yes.
work these? I don't want to break it. Ooh. Oh, why didn't I have this the whole time? And while I do this, that feels good, right?
Yeah, and ooh,
Chopin chocolate. That's right. Chopin Sonata chocolate.
it comes from his own recipes.
So we're gonna save this for our third round. Chopin, the late Chopin. We're gonna do this after each round. So after the third round, when we hear the sonatas, we're gonna eat some sonata chocolates.
And
then got a
this is
cool book. This is interviews with Garrick Olson that have been translated from Polish.
Mhm.
And then we showed you our program book. But there's also these cool Chopin couriers that, there's
come out every day. Every
there's a
day.
new
It's a Chopin magazine.
every single day. This is the town we're working in. It's just spread around the city are daily newspaper publications about Chopin and commenting on the Chopin competition. It's a big deal here. It's really cool to be here. I mean, honestly, I've never been in a more beautiful hall. I've never been in a hall with a more higher stakes thing going on in front of me, and yet really doesn't feel like a competition. It feels like just an exhibition of some of the great talent in the world, and we're really, really lucky to be here.
It's a gathering of friends and family and colleagues and celebrating this extraordinary composer and this extraordinary body of music that never goes out of fashion.
It truly doesn't. It is timeless. There's a reason we're still playing it 200 years after he started writing this
And
music.
speaking of losing time, I got to get to sleep.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Be well.
Thanks so much for joining us.